Moved on from the pandemic and life returns to normal, President Biden is alarming people with talk of yet another one.
Here, we do need more money, but we don't just need more money for vaccines for children eventually. We need more money to plan for the second pandemic. There's going to be another pandemic. We have to think ahead.
Yeah, but Earth to Biden, we aren't going back. And even the liberals are ready to let go. The Washington Post reportedly the latest company to crack down on staff who were refusing a return to the office. Okay, so I remember, Greg, that who was it? I think it was Fauci in 2017 in a speech he was giving, predicted that there would be a pandemic. Now we've got Biden predicting there's going to be yet another pandemic. And then he talks about money. Is this all about putting money in big pharma or what is this about?
I think you hit the nail on the head. That he's actually talking about the future, which I get, but it's really about the past. Like, how do you prevent something from happening? You look at how it started in the first place. Bring up Fauci, gain of function. Maybe Biden should, he doesn't tell us his actual plans. Why not launch a real practical investigation into the origins of the root causes of COVID? How vital would that be as opposed to this monstrosity of a hearing that we see every day that is just political theater built on, it's pure political theater. It's for a political aim. It's not for anything else. In this case, this is an aim for all Americans to find out why their loved ones died. We all know people who died from this. And no one's been arrested. There's been I can't believe that I have millions and we have done nothing to discover. Read Matt Ridley's book, which is amazing on COVID. It'll blow your mind. But this is just like 2019, 2020. COVID was spreading, and what we were doing, impeachment theater. Yeah,
exactly. You know, Jesse, the interesting part of it is that we had a role to play with Gang of Function, funding it. Do you think that has something to do with not investigating the root causes of COVID?
I do. And Fauci still supports gain of function, and Fauci is still sending our money to sloppy Chinese labs. Even the Chinese can't even believe they're sending them money. They're like, can you believe Fauci's still sending us money? Okay, pass the bat. I mean,
pass the bat.
Why would you send these people money after what they did to us? And I think, Greg, to your point,
thank you.
When the Republicans take the House, I'm not going to say red wave, but when they take the House, they are going to launch investigations into this. And they're going to subpoena Fauci. He'll probably be retired by then, but they're going to try to get to the bottom of this. I expect the pandemic to rise up probably before each election going forward. And I think Biden's just saying this because he's so shell-shocked that he missed Omicron and Delta that every time he hears someone knock, he thinks it's another variant. But, Judge, who's holding the money up anyway? Doesn't he own Congress? Yeah. The Democrats aren't giving him money? It's the first time I've ever heard that.
Well, you know, the amazing thing about China, Dana, is that isn't it Biden who was talking about, if he hasn't already, taken some of the tariffs off Chinese goods?
He's considering it.
He's considering that.
He is, partly because there is an economic argument that some people make that has caused inflation to go up. And so when you're looking at the toolkit of what are the possibilities, I don't think it would have a big difference, but that is one of the things.
That's
but it's
kind of a schizophrenic response, though.
Okay.
Don't you think?
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I didn't really prepare for Chinese tariffs today. I would say that, remember...
Let me handle this,
Thank
Dana.
you. That Joe Biden ran on getting rid of COVID. That was what he was going to do. He's going to get COVID under control. It is true that in the future there will be another pandemic, possibly in our lifetimes, maybe not. But if you look back in history, yes, that is what happens. But what he could do with this money is actually not just deal with where it started, but what did we do that worked and what didn't work. Right. And I think that we've all agreed the lockdowns didn't work. So that's one of the things to put into the little code book there when you have a new pandemic is look up in 50 years, what happened? Oh, they shut down the economy, and that did not work, and kids did not learn. And that's actually an effective use of government funds right now to put it together. So it's sort of like the after-action report we did after Katrina. That actually helped so that you now have FEMA is much more organized across the board to deal with hurricanes and other natural disasters that you can see, that you can predict before they happen.
Final word?
So warp speed, what President Trump did, appears to have worked from the standpoint that these vaccines were safe. We should think about that as a platform going forward. I think every great leader, whether you're a coach, whether you're a CEO, whether you're a politician, or you're a producer or head of a network, you think about what works and what doesn't work, and then you try to prepare for challenges going forward. You have to innovate always. So things we didn't have, vaccines, therapeutics, soap, semiconductor chips, potato chips, toilet paper. We should never face that kind of challenge again. That's where I hope some of the focus is as well.
Hey,